Hey there friends, I've got another tune picked out for you this week from the Old Time 100, Volume 1. This one's on the first volume of 20 tunes that was just recently put out. It's going to be the Ruffled Drawers, or sometimes it's known, or it's very similar to a tune also called New 5 Cents. This version comes from Bob Rogers, and I'm going to sort of focus in, as I always do, on one little bowing idea or technique. Something that I call the scoop bow. It's a really useful bow rocking technique that's used on a lot of tunes, and I'm going to sort of dive into what that is and how to do it, and we'll apply it to this tune because it kind of naturally comes in the endings for this tune. So we'll have a look at that, which I call the scoop bow. Of course, go have a listen to Ruffled Drawers on the Old Time 100 Volume 1 and have a listen to Bob Rogers play it, but I'm going to play it to you a couple of times through right now and just solo so you can hear it in the course of this lesson, and then I'm going to break it down. We're going to talk about scoop bow, and I'll play it nice and slowly for you at the end where you can play along or sing along, and we'll put it all back together. Okay, let's dive into breaking down this tune and learning about some scoop bows. Maybe you noticed some scoop bows going on. Maybe you're like, what is a scoop bow? Well, I'll tell you and we'll break it down. But first, I just wanted to remind you that if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, please do. Like the video, leave a comment, all the usual sort of YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Fun stuff, but it helps, so thank you for doing that. And if you haven't subscribed on Patreon, it's likely that you're viewing this on Patreon, but if I've put it up for free on YouTube at some point in the future, then you might be viewing this for free, and I would really appreciate if you're finding any value in this to subscribe to my Patreon. It can be from $5 a month, which is about the price of a coffee, not very much. But that really helps me out, and it helps me bring this content to you and make new content like the Old Time 100 to share with folks and pass on all of this fun-filled stuff. So check out the Patreon page. You can subscribe there for $5, $10, $20 and get lots and lots of information, lessons like this, and transcriptions, etc., etc. It's a lot of fun too. We've got a great community over there. So check out Patreon. Let's get back to it and learn about some scoop bow and ruffled drawers. Okay, what's a scoop bow? Let's start with that. I kind of named it this because of the motion that the tip of your bow kind of makes. It's as if you're like digging a scoop of ice cream out. If you had a little spade on the tip of your bow, you kind of like do this scooping motion where you sort of collect a little scoop of ice cream and then dig it out at the end. So in this case, we're in the key of D, right? So if we're going from the D string to the A string, which is the scooping motion, that's our kind of scooping motion there. So that's essentially a scoop bow. But also when I say a scoop bow, it generally sort of comes with this rhythm, which is. So this is the sort of phrase that I tend to name a scoop bow with my students when I'm telling them, and then we'll end the phrase with a scoop bow. It's a very common ending phrase, this scooping motion. So it starts with a down, and then it scoops across from low string to high string. So do that with me. I sort of am starting with down on both the strings, and then I'm going D to A in the up bow motion. So down, up, across with a scoop. So this is part of a bow rocking exercise, essentially. It is bow rocking. It's just that it specifically is an ending phrase that's very common in a lot of tunes. So it's a good rhythmic phrase to have a handle on. Have a listen to the A part of Ruffled Drawers and listen to the endings. I'm going to play it a little slower. So. So you heard there 2 times that I did it. Obviously, like in the versions that I've written out, sometimes I'll include like these big octave leaps. That's what it looks like in the written music, but it'll be connected by a slur, and that's usually an attempt at sort of notating out a scoop bow motion like that. So sometimes I'll include bits like that. Sometimes it won't be in the written transcription. Of course, there's all of these different variations that we can have when we're playing these tunes. So it's just about where you're at that moment. Okay, so let's practice our scoop bows a few times here. We've got down and across. Let's try it on the G and D string. Let's try it on the A and the E string. Okay, let's get into breaking down the phrases for Ruffled Drawers, and we'll include those scoop bows at the end. Let's take the A part, and we're just going to break it down into the 4 phrases. Here's the first phrase. All right, there's a lot of notes in this tune, so there's quite a lot going on there. We're starting with the open A and D string together, D and A string. All right, check out the transcription if you're having trouble with those notes. As far as bowing goes, I am doing essentially a basic shuffle. And shuffle. Right, that's long, short, short, long, short, short, long, short, short. Okay, the answering phrase for this is a little simpler. Got a few less notes here. Right, so we're starting with the open A string. We can actually include a scoop bow here, so I'm going to. Right, so I tend to like these long bows here. Long, 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 and then scoop. So try that. Long, 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 scoop. The long bows, it's kind of like that figure 8 motion, right? I talk about the figure 8 bow. We've done that in some other lessons. All right, so that's our answering phrase. Third phrase is the same as the first phrase. So let's revisit that and our basic shuffle, right? And then we have a slightly different ending. Well, a completely different ending to our first answering phrase. Here it is. Big scoop bow at the end there, isn't there? And again, I kind of like doing these figure 8 bows as a rhythmic contrast here. We've got long, 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 long scoop. So open A, across to the D string. Okay, let's play all of those phrases. Now remember, we've got first phrase, we've got basic shuffle. Second phrase, we've got figure 8 bows and a scoop. Third phrase, basic shuffle, same as the first phrase. And ending phrase, long bows, figure 8 bows with the scoop bow at the end. All right. Here we go. First phrase. Oh, almost started the second phrase. Second phrase. First phrase again, or third phrase. Ending phrase. Long bows. Scoop. All right. Let's put it all together. Play it slowly a couple times. 1, 2, here we go. Okay, nice work. Let's get into the B part. Here's the first phrase of the B part. We'll do the same thing. We're going to break it into 4 phrases. First phrase. All right, starting with the third finger on the A string. All right, bowing wise there. It's all separates there, separates. And then I'm doing a 3-beat shuffle, right? Which is 1, just there. Short, long, short, long. I'll teach that in more detail in some other lessons, but I'm just gonna quickly bypass it here. Separates. Short, long, right? Answering phrase to that. Ooh, scoop bow there at the end, right? That's our second phrase. Starting the same place, third finger on the A string. All separates, and then a scoop on the unison. Down and across. Even though it's a unison, we're still doing D to A string. All right. Of course, the third phrase is the same as that first phrase. Same bowing there, separates. Short, long, and then our ending, our fourth phrase. Scoop bow there. Starting with the third finger again on the A string. Bowing wise, again, I'm kind of doing these long, loping kind of figure 8 bows. Long, 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 long. Okay, let's go through those 4 phrases. First phrase of the B part. Second phrase. And scoop. Third phrase, same as the first. And ending phrase. Okay, let's play it together slowly the whole way through. 1, 2, 3. I hope you're getting those scoop bows at the end of all the phrases. Okay, let's play the whole tune through nice and slowly and get all those bowings and scoop bows at the ends of the phrases together. And we'll play a little bit of Ruffled Drawers here. Thanks for following along this far if you've made it to the end, and we'll catch you next time for another lesson. Ruffled Drawers, let's do it. We'll start off with a little shuffle.